Hello viewers, here is the General Electric speakerphone with 12 number memories. And this is the model number, the GE 2-9320A telephone. Made in Malaysia with a RAN of 1. And this is a Thompson product, which is one of the two brands that General Electric used to make their telephones seemingly through the 90s and the 2000s. I picked this up at the good thrift store in the Big Red Barn. I would say the price, we'll say, was about $7 because the woman took a couple dollars off at the checkout. So we'll say this, I paid $7 for it. Although even I don't think that 10 is really all that bad for a good working telephone. I think the AT&T 210 trimline telephone, which used to be about $6, has gone up significantly now. So I don't even think you can buy a good telephone for $10 anymore. Anyways, I like these handsets. They're very comfortable to hold and talk into. I remember GE phones very well from when I was younger. My grandparents always had a General Electric telephone in the kitchen and a couple of other General Electric telephones. And they always had problems, so it was kind of confusing to me as why they continued to buy General Electric telephones over the years. But the one that they had in the kitchen for a while had these buttons that were the shiny gray color like that, except they was on the handset, and I remember those buttons vividly. And then my mother had a General Electric large button telephone, which has the same handset, that same hook switch, and the same color scheme for the buttons, but they were much bigger. And in fact, I have a home video on a VHS tape from, I guess it was sometime in the 90s, where she got that telephone for her birthday, and she opened up that telephone gift on the video, which is kind of neat because I still have that very same telephone, the same instance of that telephone floating around. So this telephone, it clearly spent some time in the sun, window. This side is somewhat faded, but this side is very yellowed. Looks like there was perhaps even two different kinds of plastic used on the handset, as the back is significantly more yellow than the front, which is kind of a strange design. It's definitely got some wear on it, but it's in generally good condition. The buttons are fine, they don't feel sticky or anything. Well, that doesn't seem to work. Oh, might be because it's not plugged in. Okay, we're off to a great start here. We got the volume here on the side, which I wonder how that's going to behave in terms of, does it control both the speakerphone and the earpiece or whatever. The ringer, off, high, low, and then we got tone and pulse. So let's start by calling it so we can hear what the ringer sound like. Oh, I really like that ringer. It's one of my favorite ringers. What an icon of the 80s and the 90s. And even into the early 2000s as well. I remember hearing that ringer a lot. Go down to low. back up to high. Okay, so that's working. Let's go over to the mains and let's see what the speakerphone sounds like. Well, now this is working, so now I'm not sure why does this require batteries? It has a lithium battery there, but I suspect that's for the or it had a lithium battery there at one point. Looks like it's not there. Probably would have been a CR2032 or something of that nature. That I believe would be for the caller ID. I mean, not the caller ID, the speed dial. I don't think, unless there's something under here. Nope. I don't think so that it's supposed to take a battery. So it quite possibly could be that the speakerphone just doesn't work. Those buttons are responsive. The hold seems to work. Oh, I don't know how you get it off of hold. I guess that's how. And the speakerphone does not seem to work. I can't say that I'm particularly surprised because a lot of these General Electric telephones were not the greatest in terms of quality.
M&T Bank thanks you for your call. Good evening. Today is Monday, April 17th. 9:03. Current temperature at 58 degrees. Cloudy today.
Oh, it sounds clear. It doesn't seem as though that volume adjustment makes any kind of a difference. And the light's not even coming on, so there's definitely... Oh, there it goes. Oh boy. Huh. Alright, there's got to be some kind of a secret handshake to get that speakerphone to come on. Doesn't seem like it'll shut off by itself. This speakerphone probably stinks, but it's interesting. Oh, gosh, those DTMF tones sound horrible.
Greetings from Jones Family Farms and Winery. This is a crop report message providing you with currently occurring at the farm. With the lengthening daylight hours and warming temperatures, we look forward to seeing our many friends of the winery return for a visit and experience from our wide selection.
The speakerphone sounds spoiled to me.
Is open on Fridays through Sundays from 12 noon. We is located at our home location at Connecticut. We have a full complement you can learn about in advance.
I wonder if it's a button issue.
Family farm. Class with some light fare food options.
Who knows?
Please note that reservations are not required during the...
Let's see what the speakerphone sounds like. This is a test. It sounds like the pickup is listening to me. Hello, hello. Now I'm speaking very close to the microphone. It seems like the microphone is actually right there and it's real. So I'm going to start moving away from the telephone. Now I have no idea how good the pickup is, but start moving away from the phone. This is like 3 feet away from the telephone, 4 feet away from the telephone, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is about 10 or 12 feet away from the telephone. So let's see, is it still recording? Yeah, the answering machine is still recording. That time it hung up properly.
One, new message, and 6, old messages. The memory is full. Please erase your messages.
Don't tell me what to do.
Message 1.
This is a test. Sounds like the pickup is listening to me. Hello, hello. Now I'm speaking very close to the microphone. It seems like the microphone is actually right there and it's real. So I'm going to start moving away from the telephone. Now I have no idea how good the pickup is, but start moving away from the phone. This is like feet away from the telephone, 4 feet away from the telephone, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is about 10 or 12 feet away from the telephone. So let's see, is it still recording? The answer machine is still recording.
End of messages.
Huh. I'm surprised it picked up from that far away. Alright, now I'll record a message speaking into the handset.
1, new message. Message 1.
This is the testing message from the handset of this General Electric 2-9320A telephone. It's definitely flaky. The speakerphone control isn't quite right, and the volume, although the pickup lasted for a surprising distance, the modulation is very low, both on the incoming and the outgoing audio. And I remember the telephone that my grandparents had in the kitchen for a while was also a speakerphone model. And the speakerphone on that unit as well also failed. And the speakerphone became very, very quiet, and the pickup was poor, just like we're experiencing on this telephone. So, unfortunately, and also very consistently with General Electric's consumer electronics selection of telephones from the 90s and the 2000s era, this telephone is definitely not of the best quality and is not very reliable. Fortunately, it seems like the handset aspect of it, which is what I would use most of the time anyways, because line-powered speakerphones typically just aren't very good. The handset itself seems to work properly, and while the mounting bracket for the base, which is also technically required for tabletop usage as well, is missing, it seems to sit on the table firmly enough that you can still press the buttons and it doesn't wobble all over the place. So I think I might install this telephone into the lamp, on that lamp in the corner of the kitchen by the table for a little while, or maybe just until it breaks, who knows. It could keep going like this for many years, or it could quit entirely. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't think anybody is. One thing is for certain, Uniden made much better quality telephones than both Links or the Atkins and the Thompson consumer electronics combined. Over and out.
End of messages.
There's definitely something wrong with this telephone in regards to the speakerphone, but it seems like the handset component at least works properly. And if I recall correctly, that was the same situation with the telephone that my grandparents had. The speakerphone failed, but the handset itself seemed to operate okay. So that'll be it for this telephone. It's a nice telephone, I do like it, but like all the other G units from the era, it's not very reliable.